Welcome to the Dog Mystic Show. Thank you so much for being here. And my mission is to keep dogs in their forever home by teaching people how to train their dogs without treats and create that everlasting bond with their dogs. So if your dog is stressing you out, you can have a happy dog and happy homes. So I would be forever grateful if you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is The Dog Mystic, and check out my website, thedogmystic.com, and for some extra tips and problem-solving techniques just to bring peace to the home, you can purchase my book on my website. So happy dogs equal happy homes. So my tip for today is please rescue instead of adopting. Please rescue instead of purchasing. The holidays are coming around and so many people get puppies, but there are plenty of rescues out there that have puppies. And unfortunately, the amount of rescues that are full. They're full right now. They need a home. They need a home, and they're absolutely amazing. That's the beautiful thing about rescues. First off, you're going to spend all this money on a mutt. The designer breeds are mutts. So instead of, do your research of what kind of dog that you want. And do you want a dog that sheds? Do you want a small dog? Do you want a big dog? But mutts are designer breeds, and they're absolutely amazing. And the beautiful thing about rescuing a dog is they're so grateful. They're so grateful, and yeah, they might have problems, but give them a chance because it's totally worth it. So please just rescue, because it'll benefit you, your family, and it'll benefit the dog. So that's my tip for the day. So I am so excited because I'm going to be bringing on my amazing teammate, Deana F Marshall. We're going to be talking about the Kangen Water and the benefits of the Kangen Water, how it benefits people and it benefits the animals. So give me one moment. Hello, welcome. So I'm so excited to have you here, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
So I just want to explain some statistics in regards to pollution and just the pollution of plastics that are in the world, and it's only getting worse right now. So there's approximately, probably more now, 14.5 tons of plastic that ends up in the oceans all over the world each year, which decreases the oxygen level in the water, and it's killing the habitats in the ocean. Plastic water bottles are made from, it's made from all these chemicals that we like. It's actually hard to say. So polyethylene, like PETs. So we can't even pronounce the chemicals that are in plastic water bottles, let alone some of the chemicals that are in our foods that we're ingesting into our bodies. So as with most plastics, the PETs is produced by petroleum hydrocarbons through a reaction between ethanol, ethylene, glycol, and some kind of acid. So think about it. All those chemicals that we shouldn't be putting into our bodies, you know? And not only that, the plastic water bottles, they're made with all these chemicals. They're put into a truck. The truck is really, really hot. Once all that heats up the plastic, then no matter what, all the chemicals are getting into the plastics anyway. So it's just, we're drinking, like when you drink out of the water bottle, you don't know exactly how long it's been sitting and all the chemicals that are in there. It's not good. And no wonder why there's so much cancer that's people and animals. It's not only people. There's so much cancer that is spreading throughout the whole entire world, and it's sad. It's sad to, I've been training dogs for 22 years, and the cancer rates. My dog Emma, unfortunately, got leukemia, lymphoma, and I mean, if I started giving her the Kangen water years and years ago, then she could still be alive now. But there's just too many cancer cancer cases all over the world, and the prolonged exposure to harmful and toxic chemicals, whatever we put into our bodies may result in a person's cells to produce more free radicals. The free radicals, because our bodies automatically produce the free radicals, but too many free radicals in the body causes inflammation, and it is a cause of cancer for the people and the animals. The molecular hydrogen in the Kangen water is an anti-inflammatory. So it takes the free radicals out of the water. And I would like to pass it on to Dee Dee and have her explain how these free radicals have reduced the pain in her body when she first started taking drinking the water. So passing it on to you. Thank you.
Yay. Well, I mean, when you were talking about the plastic too, I would love to go back just a little bit, because when I first learned about Kangen water, I was living in Thailand, and when we live in the United States, and we don't really we aren't presented with the plastic waste. We don't have it in front of us all the time. We're not walking down the street and see plastic bags flying over the place, or water bottles or garbage on the ground. When we go swimming at the beach, we don't usually come up with plastic bags stuck on our legs. We don't come up with plastic water bottles, just kind of bobbing in the water. And so I was living in Thailand. I was there for 5 years, and you would go to these absolute pristine, most beautiful beaches in the world. I mean, you've seen pictures of Thai beaches, and they're breathtaking. White sands, gorgeous blue water, and you dive down in there, and literally it's like, you think they're jellyfish at first, but it's actually like plastic bags. And then you turn around, if you're like on a beach and you go around the corner, you'll see where the tide has really just kind of pushed all of the plastic garbage. It gets like loaded up. There's like piles of plastic garbage on the beaches where the tide kind of pushes the garbage up on the beach. And there's not as many regulations, and a lot of people send their garbage to Thailand or to China, and it ends up in our oceans. And as Americans, we just don't recognize that. It wasn't really until I was living in Thailand that I realized like how desperate we are as far as this plastic pollution is. And so when I came to learn about Kangen Water, I was actually looking for a way to make money, but I was presented with this water. And the reason why I was looking for a way to make money was because my husband was injured, and he had a vocal injury. He teaches choir, but he had a vocal injury and he couldn't work. And I was looking for a way to make up his side of the income where I could still, teach and do my thing. And I learned about Kangen Water, the business model, all of that stuff. But as soon as I learned about the molecular hydrogen and the the antioxidants and electrically charged water, and the fact that I could detoxify my entire house with this water, I immediately had to have it because I knew we needed it for our health. And I was really, when I first came to this water, I was really, really focused on my husband because he was the acute issue there. I needed him to heal. And so I got the water and we drank the water. And also in Thailand, we had to drink bottled water because the on-demand tap water, you can't drink that. It was full of chemicals and, particles, and it was just dirty. You could do like we had a filter at the house, but it would kind of trickle out. We could barely get any water from it. So I knew I needed to have some way to manipulate the on-demand water. And it's becoming more and more a problem with tap water, as well as just knowing all of the chemicals that go into it and really wanting to kind of remove that and then just find this fresh water. So I knew I needed this water in a whole bunch of different ways. But back to, kind of the experience that we had with this water, because we had learned about molecular hydrogen. We had learned about electrolyzed reduced water. We had learned, about the healing qualities of these things, but we hadn't experienced them firsthand. And so we got the water. And I remember my husband and I getting so excited. We're drinking our first glass of water. We're like, drank it, and it was so soft and beautiful. It felt really good going down. You didn't get that heavy feeling in your stomach. So we were very pleased with that. But of course, the health benefits of it kind of showed up a little bit later. So we were drinking the water exclusively for a couple weeks. And we all kind of, in general, just felt a lot better. And before I go on to, I want to say I'm not making any medical claims or anything like that. We don't do that in this business, but everybody has their own story and their own way that this water has actually, helped them and their families. And so we were drinking this water for a couple of weeks, and I was really focused on like, how is your voice? How is your throat? Is it getting better? And his injury was so far beyond. He was feeling a lot better, but the injury wasn't going to be healed by this. But what was crazy about that is for many, many years, my hips have been really painful. And if you have painful hips, you know what that's like. It's just like you get up and you walk, and it's really, you have these stiff steps. And I would lay down on my side and it would be achy. And, if I walked too far, my hips would ache. And it was just one thing after another. In fact, it got so bad many years ago when my kids were little that I actually went in and got an MRI on my hips to see, if I had a tumor or something growing in there. Cause it was hurting so bad, aching, and I was taking ibuprofen and I could feel it all the way down my leg. So I went in and I discovered that I actually have a genetic thing with my hips. They're just shallow hip sockets and they're prone to inflammation. And basically the doctor said, that's it. That's what you have. And you just kind of have to deal with it. And here are some exercises you can do, blah, blah, blah. So, so for many years, I was just dealing with that, but it kept kind of progressively getting a little bit worse. And it got to the point where I was taking maybe, 3 to 4 ibuprofen, probably 3 or 4 times a day to stave off the pain and to just make it so that I could like get up from a chair and not have those super stiff steps. They were still stiff, but, I was just trying to kind of treat the pain. and knowing there really wasn't anything I could do about it. And so, but after drinking this water for a couple weeks, I actually woke up one day and I thought to myself, wow, I don't think I took any ibuprofen for my hips yesterday. And it shocked me. It was like one of those realizations, like, oh, I just didn't do it. And then another day went by, another day went by. My hips started feeling better and better and better. And since I started drinking this water, unless I'm not drinking it, I haven't had to take any ibuprofen for my hips at all. Like I don't have those stiff steps. I'm not in pain all night. I can sleep really well. And and as an expatriate living in Thailand, we did a lot of traveling. And so every weekend or so, we would go and fly someplace. That's just kind of what you do. Like you get on a plane and fly to a beach, or you fly up north, or you go wherever. And so we do that. And while we were there, I was drinking bottled water again and, just trying to do that. And my hips would start hurting almost instantly. And I'd come back and start drinking the water again, and they'd stop hurting. And I was so amazed by this. Like it was just phenomenal. I had no idea when I started drinking this water that it would have that effect on me. I was totally focused on my husband. And so I got so excited about this. My mom, I actually inherited these hips from my mother, who also has really stiff hips and has over the years, like her whole body is kind of crooked and she's, walking with a hitch. And I was like, Mom, so I got her a machine. I went and bought her a machine and I put it down at their house. And I said, if it doesn't work, it's okay. I'll take it back and I'll share it with someone else. And they drank it for about 3 months. And when something kind of subtle starts happening in your body, you don't realize it sometimes. And my mom called me up one day and she said, Mom, Didi, I just don't think this water is working. I don't think it's working. And I said, okay, Mom, it's totally okay. If it doesn't work, that's fine. It's just, I wanted to share it with you because it helped me so much. And so she unplugged it and stopped drinking it. And right before I took it back, she said, you know what, honey, my hips are really hurting. I think I should keep the machine. And I was like, wow, it's just so cool to think of water being a solution to something that has just been the way it is for so long. And so, yeah, I guess that's my story. And the whole free radicals, like removing from your body, I had no idea that something was available to do that before learning about this water. The molecular hydrogen in there really makes a massive difference in how you feel. And not everybody has, hips that hurt, but I haven't met anyone who has not felt better just drinking this water. So I guess that's my story.
And I mean, like, there's just too many people that are accepting of the pain that's going on in their bodies.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. I'm just dealing with it,
Yeah. It's the
And
status quo. Yeah. It's like you're so used to it that you don't even pay attention to it anymore. You just that's just the way it is. And that's the way my mom was. And then once she started drinking the water, she started feeling better. But for her, it was like, oh, I just feel this way, like I just feel better. It didn't have anything to do with anything until she stopped drinking the water. And then she was like, oh, that's how I used to feel. I felt really in a lot of pain and now I don't. And wow, it's amazing how the water can make that much of a difference.
So your mom, though, I mean, how long was she not drinking the water, and then she realized that she was in pain again, or in more pain? Because I mean, like, at first she said that it's not doing anything. I don't feel it. I don't see the difference, and she stopped using it. So, like, how long did it take?
It was probably a week, few days a week before she started to feel pain. And then it kind of hit her. And then as soon as I was ready to take the machine, she said, maybe we'll keep it. I was like, yep, it's yours. If it makes a difference in your life, it's so worth it. It is so worth it to be able to do something as simple as drinking amazing water to just bring your body back into balance and to release that inflammation, to get rid of those free radicals. It's funny when you go through, when you start drinking this water, you actually go through a bit of detox. Sometimes people will report, "Ooh, I feel worse than I did yesterday. Like I'm dealing with all this, but today I feel worse." It's because this water goes directly to those places in your body that are hanging on to the toxins, and it starts to flush them out, and it causes some detoxification symptoms for a few days. And then once they're flushed out, you start to feel the health benefits of this water. And it's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's really interesting how it works.
It's beneficial, and it's beneficial and amazing. And I mean, like, that's the whole reason why I'm mixing the two together, because so many ailments that happen with people's body happen with animals' bodies as well. And animals go through inflammation and, specific diseases that people get as well. And it's just really, really important, because for so long people were just giving their dogs tap water.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, here in the United States, there's a website. It's called ewg.org, and you can put in your zip code, and it explains all the chemicals that are above the FDA standards, that they're still able to put into the waters.
Yeah.
And most of them say causes cancer, either cancer or, like, thyroid issues. So I mean, like, it's not fair. It's not fair that they say that the tap water is clean, and it's not fair that there's other countries that don't have clean drinking water whatsoever. So I mean, that's one of my whys. I want to be able to teach people how important it is to drink clean Kangen water, and just donate and help and travel, and be able to travel to actually create clean water for certain civilizations that don't have it, which it's just not right. It's not right with the amount of money that the world makes. There's no reason why people cannot have clean drinking water, just because of the pollution and whatever's going on in other countries. It's not fair. It's not right. It's not fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely saw my fair share of dirty water in my life. And yeah, I mean, it affecting the entire population of people. It feels like it needs to be a human right. It is a human right to have, clean drinking water in order to survive for your family, for you. And yeah, that's not the case in a lot of countries around the world. Yeah, we definitely have it good here in the US. I mean, you can drink the tap water. It's definitely not perfect, but like in Thailand or in Africa, like literally you don't have that option, or you can, but most people are just very sick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, so please do not give your animals tap water, and either get in contact with myself or check out Deana F Marshall on our Facebook page, and you'll see all the amazing information. And we're here. We're here to just share as much as we can to better the health of people and animals. So I thank you so very much for coming on and sharing your story. And you have a dog as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. And actually, it's funny because she's 3 and she's starting to show signs of hip dysplasia. And because of that, her um, other leg, we think she might have a ripped tendon. I'm not sure. I'm going to get her checked out tomorrow. But there were like, she was on the couch, not moving, not wanting to go for walks, couldn't hardly go down the stairs. And I started forcing her. She's one of those dogs that's like, I'll drink from the puddle, or I'll drink from the old like leaf on the ground, or there's like in the plant, the bottom of the plant, you know, she'll drink that water before she drinks any clean water that I give her. So I started putting Kangen water 8.5 in outside sources, under the plant, in her bowl, all over. And she's been drinking it exclusively for about a week and a half. And I have seen a huge difference in her. She's getting up and off, like off the couch. She's wagging her tail when she sees me. Her hips are not like perfect in any way, shape, or form. And her leg is still hurting her, but she has so much more energy and is just moving around better. It's just really good to see. It makes me feel like, okay, yay, I can share this with her too, and just see a difference in her energy level. And I'm sure it's taking some of the inflammation away from her hips and her leg that she has already hurt, you know, just making her feel a little bit better.
And that's another thing to just be aware of. Of course, it's convenient to let your dog out and in the backyard and go and play and everything like that, but just be aware of standing water in like different sections of the yard, because if they're drinking that, then they can get a stomach virus, or just like certain bacterias or bacterial infection, because if there's stagnant water, then they're ingesting it and it can make them sick. So
Right.
it's just being aware, going outside with them, and and seeing if there's anything that looks slimy and gross. So
they'll go for it.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. And check out thedogmystic.com. Please like and subscribe to The Dog Mystic on YouTube. And have a wonderful evening, day, weekend, wherever you're tuning in from. So thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye.